Look at that little ache in your knee, that new prescription for blood pressure, the brain fog that just seems to hang around all morning. You probably blame it on getting older, right? Maybe you tell yourself, well, that's just life after 60, Tom. But what if I told you that much of what you're feeling isn't inevitable aging at all? What if the culprit is is something you invite into your home every week? Something you actually believe is healthy? I'm talking about a silent betrayal happening right on your cutting board. A single creamy wedge or a quick slice in your sandwich that, according to a major study in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, can raise your risk of heart disease by as much as 40%. 40%. That's staggering. And the worst part, your doctor isn't advising you on this specific threat because it's so subtle. We seniors, we grew up on cheese. We trusted it. It was the quintessential American comfort food. We thought dairy, calcium, protein, good stuff. But the truth is, while some cheeses are the ultimate guardian for your aging gut, bones, and brain, others are nothing short of a time bomb. They're silently raising your blood pressure, clogging those vital arteries, and accelerating cognitive decline. I've seen this happen to good people, folks just like you and me who were simply misinformed. We need to stop the damage right now. You see, the difference between a cheese that builds your bones and one that gives you a mini stroke is tiny but crucial. Today, we are unveiling the full list. We're going to cover the 4 cheeses you must, absolutely must eat after 60 and the 4 you should never touch again. You've been warned, and I need you to stay with me until the very end because the number 1 cheese to avoid, the one that experts are calling a stroke on a plate, is one you've undoubtedly consumed. Now, before we get into the deadly list, I want to know where you're watching from. Tell me in the comments section below. And if this message resonates with you, if you're ready to take back control of your health, type the number 1 right now. If you're a longtime subscriber, you know we only deliver the most life-changing health truths for seniors. So hit that like button and subscribe right now. Don't miss out. The difference between life and a hospital visit is in these next few minutes. Let's start with the 4 cheeses you need to throw out today. All right, let's not waste another second. We need to confront the truth about the hidden dangers in your refrigerator. These aren't just bad cheeses. For anyone over 60, these are the ones actively working as your body's ability to metabolize fats, manage sodium, and protect your arteries. This is the quartet of betrayal. The fourth betrayer, American cheese. We start with a nostalgic favorite, American cheese. This is where most seniors make their first mistake. We see that bright yellow slice and think, grilled cheese, childhood, comfort. We think it's a simple dairy product, but here's the stark truth. That plastic wrap product is chemically barely cheese at all. It's an emulsified cheese-like product. They blend real cheese with extra salt, artificial coloring, and most dangerously, chemical preservatives. The immediate danger for you, my friend, is the sodium content. Just one processed slice can contain around 15% of your entire daily recommended intake. If you're managing hypertension, if you're already on medication to lower your blood pressure, that extra insidious salt load is an immediate counterattack to your heart health. But it gets worse. Remember the smooth, meltable texture? That comes from artificial phosphates and emulsifiers. These substances are linked to disturbances in your crucial gut flora, which directly impacts your immune function. But more critically for us seniors, these phosphate additions have a startling association with accelerated arterial calcification. Think of it as a much faster rate of artery hardening than would happen naturally. Your body is already struggling to process sodium and manage calcium, and this fake cheese is just pouring fuel on that fire. The convenience of a slice is simply not worth the trade-off. Toss it. The third betrayer, blue cheese. This one hurts because blue cheese often feels like sophistication, a gourmet treat, the kind of thing you enjoy with a glass of wine or crumbled on a nice salad. But for the over 60 crowd, this elegant food becomes a very real cardiovascular hazard. The unique marbling isn't just flavor, it's penicillium mold, an active live fungus that produces powerful biogenic substances like tyramine and histamine. Now, when you were 30, your body's enzymes rapidly broke these down. No problem. But as we age, our enzymatic activity slows down, and these substances persist. They build up. A major 2023 study published in Food Chemistry linked high tyramine consumption in older persons to sudden, severe consequences: migraines, significant blood pressure spikes, and even cardiac arrhythmias. Do you get those sudden, throbbing headaches, that weird dizziness that comes and goes? People blame stress or lack of sleep, but often it's a neurotoxic overload subtly undermining your vascular stability. On top of that, blue cheese is among the saltiest cheeses on the market. Some varieties pack over 400 milligrams of sodium per ounce. That's double, sometimes triple, the amount in milder options. Combine that huge sodium hit with the high tyramine and the sometimes high cream content, and you are creating a perfect storm for blocked arteries and elevated pressure. If you have kidney issues or high blood pressure, blue cheese is an absolute, non negotiable no go. You need to listen to that warning. The second betrayer, cream cheese. Cream cheese seems innocuous, right? Soft, spreadable, perfect on a morning bagel. It looks so gentle, but that silky texture conceals a problematic nutritional profile for the aging metabolism. It's a fat bomb. It delivers virtually no protein, but is loaded with saturated fat. It's a low nutrient, high calorie hit that does nothing to meet your body's actual needs. Instead, it aggressively promotes fat storage, especially around the midsection, right when your metabolism is slowing down due to age related muscle loss. But the risk goes far beyond weight gain. Because of its soft, high moisture texture, cream cheese is significantly more susceptible to listeria contamination. Listeria is a dangerous bacteria that, while annoying for a young person, can be life threatening for seniors with compromised immune systems. We're talking about meningitis or septicemia. It's not merely a bad stomach ache. The risk increases exponentially when that tub of cream cheese is left out, even for a short time, like at a family brunch or an office party. And don't be fooled by the flavored varieties, the honey walnut, the strawberry swirl. Those are covertly packed with added sugars, which drive up insulin, further encouraging fat storage and systemic inflammation. You're dealing with a triple threat: high fat, high sugar, and a significant bacteria risk, all wrapped up in a food most people assume is harmless. This is a morning ritual that needs to stop. The number one betrayer: processed cheese spreads. And here it is, the one cheese that truly earns the moniker a stroke on a plate. I'm talking about the processed cheese spread, the kind that comes in plastic tubs, jars, or those little foil wrapped triangles. It looks simple, it looks kid friendly. But for anyone over 60, this is the most destructive, toxic cheese you can possibly consume. Why? Because it has the absolute worst aspects of every prior offender: a shocking number of chemical ingredients, rampant saturated fats, and critically, sky high sodium. These are not just softened cheeses. They are chemically treated, emulsified, and stabilized using artificial substances like sodium phosphate. And here's the kicker, the real danger. Sodium phosphate has been definitively linked to kidney damage. As we age, a lot of us already have some degree of impaired kidney function. These phosphate additives place a tremendous, sustained strain on your kidneys, potentially leading to chronic renal failure or disease. The National Kidney Foundation and numerous studies have confirmed this link between phosphate additives in processed foods and declining kidney health in older populations. Furthermore, many of these low-cost spreads still contain partially hydrogenated oils, trans fats. Trans fats elevate your bad cholesterol, LDL, while simultaneously lowering your good cholesterol, HDL, which is the fastest, most direct path to heart attacks and strokes. That smooth, creamy texture fools your brain into thinking it's light and safe, but nutritionally, it is an aggressive, biologically inflammatory compound. You must remove this from your refrigerator today. It is a danger you can and must eliminate. The pivot: not all cheese is a villain now. I know that was a heavy list. You might be looking at your grocery list, wondering if you have to give up cheese entirely. The answer is a definitive no. Cheese is not the enemy. The wrong cheese is the enemy. By the same token, there are four powerful cheeses that you should be actively seeking out. These are the nutritional guardians that can protect your gut, strengthen your bones, lower inflammation, and even boost your brain health. It's time to build a better future. Let's talk about the four cheeses you must eat. The Four Guardians, building your health fortress. The secret is in the ingredients, the processing, and the milk source. We are looking for purity, low sodium, and essential nutrients that combat the wear and tear of aging. The fourth guardian, mozzarella, fresh buffalo. Forget those rubbery, pre shredded plastic bags you find at the grocery store. I'm talking about fresh, high quality mozzarella, especially made from water buffalo milk. This is where purity shines. Real mozzarella uses minimal ingredients: milk, salt, rennet, and cultures. That simplicity results in a cheese that is naturally rich in high quality protein and comparatively low in sodium and saturated fat. A 2022 study in the European Journal of Nutrition revealed something amazing. Older folks who consumed low salt, fresh cheeses like mozzarella actually saw improved vascular flexibility and experienced fewer arthritis flare ups. It's inherently anti inflammatory. Furthermore, it's easier on the gut because it contains less lactose. But the real powerhouse feature is the presence of bioactive peptides, natural substances created during fermentation that have been demonstrated to have blood pressure lowering properties. This is a cheese that is actively working to support your cardiovascular system while being delicious. Enjoy it simply: a slice with tomato and basil, or melted over some grilled vegetables. It's fulfilling without being burdensome. The third guardian, feta cheese. Many people are surprised to find feta on the good list because it is salty. But consume feta in moderation, and it becomes one of the healthiest choices for seniors. Why? Because feta is typically made from sheep's milk or a sheep goat blend. This milk has a unique protein structure that is inherently kinder to our aging digestive systems and is lower in lactose than most cow's milk cheeses, making it much simpler to digest. The profile is excellent, lower in total fat than many creamier cheeses, but still packed with calcium, protein, and vitamin B12. But the standout advantage for seniors is the presence of probiotics, those beneficial gut bacteria. As we age, our microbiome diversity naturally diminishes, often worsened by medications. Feta helps rebalance that. It helps reduce bloating and supports immune function. If you're genuinely concerned about the saltiness, you can simply rinse the feta crumbles before using them. That can reduce the sodium level by up to 30%. Because its flavor is so robust, you don't need much to feel satisfied. A few crumbles on a salad or roasted vegetables go a long way, naturally encouraging portion control. It's a powerful ally. The second guardian, Swiss cheese. Swiss cheese is the hero of low sodium. This is a massive win for your blood pressure management. Its surprisingly low sodium content, around 54 milligrams per ounce, is approximately 75% less than most other hard cheeses. If you are watching your heart health, Swiss should become a staple. Its natural aging process also makes it one of the most naturally lactose-free options available, addressing the increased sensitivity many adults experience. But the science gets exciting here. The specific bacterial cultures used to make Swiss cheese, Propionibacterium freudenrichii, produce crucial compounds during fermentation. One of these compounds is vitamin K2. K2 is absolutely essential for seniors. It prevents calcium from building up in your arteries where it can cause blockages, and instead, it actively guides that calcium straight to your bones. This is a powerful direct defense against arterial calcification and age-related bone density loss. With nearly 8 grams of protein per ounce and high vitamin B12 content, Swiss is a powerhouse for both bone strength and cognitive function. The holes in Swiss cheese, by the way, are actually a sign of the gas-releasing bacteria that make the cheese easier to digest. It's the perfect senior cheese. The number one guardian, goat cheese. If there is one cheese that deserves a permanent spot in your fridge after 60, it is goat cheese. This is more than just a delicious, creamy treat. It is among the most nutrient-dense, most easily digested, and most anti-inflammatory cheeses on the market. The fats in goat milk have a natural structure of short and medium-chain fatty acids. What does that mean for you? They are significantly easier for your liver to process and far less likely to be deposited as body fat, which is vital as your metabolism naturally slows down. Better yet, goat cheese is generally much lower in lactose and lower in casein, the primary dairy protein that many people find difficult to digest. It is incredibly gut-friendly and far less likely to cause the bloating or discomfort associated with cow's milk products. Like feta, it's rich in probiotics, helping to naturally restore the diversity of your gut microbiome, which, as we've discussed, is essential for immunity and fighting inflammation. It's also loaded with zinc for tissue repair and selenium for thyroid health. But the truly underrated benefit is its contribution to brain health. Goat cheese contains healthy omega 3 fats and a special type of vitamin A that actively supports memory and cognitive function. Nutrient rich cheeses like this are currently being studied for their potential to help prevent Alzheimer's and delay age related cognitive decline. When you choose a simple, clean label goat cheese free of additives, you're adding a functional, powerful superfood to your diet. So we've covered the 8 players, we've seen the dangers, and we've identified the champions. But knowing the list isn't enough. You need to implement the change. And that means making an informed decision every single day. Stick with me because in the final section, we're going to summarize these critical choices and talk about the simple, powerful steps you can take right now to secure your health future. You see, the whole point of this conversation, my friend, is not to panic, it's to get smarter. We trusted the wrong things for too long simply because they were convenient or because they were advertised as natural. But now you know the truth. You know the secret behind that brain fog, that joint pain, that rising blood pressure. It often starts with that innocent looking item in your fridge. Let's quickly re anchor ourselves to the core message. We identified the quartet of betrayal, processed cheese spreads, the stroke on a plate destroying your kidneys with phosphates, cream cheese, the silent fat and listeria risk, blue cheese, the tyramine time bomb for your blood pressure, and American cheese, the fake filler accelerating arterial calcification. And we have the 4 guardians: goat cheese, the anti inflammatory, brain boosting, easy to digest champion; Swiss cheese, the K2 and low sodium hero; feta, the probiotic powerhouse; and fresh mozzarella, the low fat, blood pressure lowering delight. The beautiful thing is that the change isn't a sacrifice, it's an upgrade. When you swap that inflammatory processed spread for some anti inflammatory goat cheese, you are not just removing a threat, you are actively adding a layer of protection to your brain, your bones, and your cardiovascular system. Think about your next meal. Instead of a bagel loaded with cream cheese, imagine whole grain toast topped with a little fresh mozzarella, tomato, and basil, or try a salad with a few crumbles of rinsed feta instead of a high sodium dressing. These small daily shifts are where the real longevity is found. It's not about a magical pill, it's about being intelligent with your food choices. And here's the most important part: it is not too late for you to change. Your body is remarkably resilient, even after 60. When you stop giving it those toxic inputs, the trans fats, the excessive sodium, the phosphate additives, your body starts to heal. Your arteries get a break. Your gut microbiome begins to reestablish its balance. You will notice the difference in your energy levels, in your sleep, and in that persistent background ache. I want you to make a promise to yourself right now. Look in your refrigerator after watching this. Find those offending cheeses, the ones we labeled betrayers, and replace them immediately with one of the 4 guardians. Don't wait until your next doctor's visit or until you feel that sudden tightness in your chest. The time to act is when you have the knowledge, and you have the knowledge now. This information is crucial for our community. We need to look out for each other. You may have friends or family, maybe even your own children or grandchildren, who are still consuming these toxic items, believing them to be safe. They need to hear this warning. So this is my final call to action, and it's a personal one. First, tell me in the comments section below, which one of the 4 dangerous cheeses are you going to throw out today? Share your commitment. Second, if this video gave you a single piece of useful information that could save you a doctor's visit, please give it a like right now. That simple action tells the YouTube algorithm that this is critical information for other seniors. And finally, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell. We have so much more to cover on reversing the signs of aging and staying vital well into our 80s and 90s. You don't want to miss our next deep dive into the foods that are secretly robbing you of your health. Thank you for staying informed, Thank you for making the intelligent choice, and I'll see you in the next video. Be well.